over. And our so-called mainstream media, the corporate dying dinosaur whore media, is so pathetic that night and that next day, we called all the TV stations and got on radio and told people to call the TV stations and newspapers, and no one showed up to cover it. There's Obama, there's Hillary, meeting secret, no one knows where they are, top story in the country. You're calling them, telling them where they are, and they don't care, they don't want to know. That's why the Drudge Report has more readers than the New York Times. That's why Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com are exploding and rising. That's why every other outlet that will cover stories like that is on fire. And those that won't cover it are imploding into the dustbin of history. But they're not going to stop there. I've got a flotilla of news articles globally and domestically where governments are openly saying they want to censor the internet, talk radio. It's happening. Their tyranny cannot stand if we have a voice to respond to it. And that's why folks need to realize how precious this radio broadcast is. How in a sea of lies, it is standing out and shining like a light on a hill in the gathering darkness. And that's why it's so important now more than ever to spread the word about Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. We're being taught to be a nation of ninnies that obsess over political correctness and who sit down and shut up and don't talk about politics and religion. America was founded on talking about politics and religion and getting angry at tyranny. All of the blessings we have, all the good things we have don't come from Barack Obama or Bill Clinton or Rick Perry or Al Gore, even though they tell us that the internet comes from Al Gore. The blessings, all the good things we have is because we did have forefathers and forebears who were obsessed with private property, obsessed with the Second Amendment, obsessed with liberty, and fearful and angry at government and mistrustful of power. And we collectively enshrined the idea of the individual as being the ultimate goal, the individual being empowered and turned loose to follow their dreams. So we individually collectivized a system to protect our individual freedoms. And so people that say, oh, it's extreme, it's bizarre to be upset about corruption, or to even say corruption exists, you people are going to ruin it for everybody. It's the opposite. Those of you that go along to get along, those of you that think compromise is a good thing, well, the other side isn't compromising. So this isn't compromise. You can't compromise on bedrock principles. You can't compromise that government corruption is dangerous and will grow out of control if not faced. History shows that 100%. You can't compromise with the fact that when a government tries to disarm you, tyranny sureth to follow. You can't compromise that it's wrong for a man to run up in a park and stick his hands down a woman's pants any more than it's okay for TSA to do it. But we're being taught to, quote, compromise in big ways to have our will broken. I mean, look at all of this censorship news today and all the freaking out over what's said and done. One nation under the military-industrial complex. NBC edits out under God for Pledge of Allegiance during U.S. opening coverage, replaces it with worship of empire. They knew exactly what they were doing. They were adding your God. When they cut out one nation under God, they showed the military, saying, present arms. One nation under, fix bayonets. One nation under, get your rifles ready in a firing squad drill to gun down the republic. Every time they show a basketball goal or a NFL football goal, they cut to troops with an American flag behind them to create a Pavlovian response. Oh, look, troops. Troops are what's good. Troops. Yeah, troops on the streets. Well, troops would be good if they defended the republic. But it's just like Nazi Germany. The Germans followed all of Hitler's orders because, after all, it was the military, and you got to bow down to what they say. We're going to break all that down. There's just so much. You know what? I'm going to go to your calls when we come back, though. Before I get into all this news, there's so much of it. Jam-packed broadcast coming up. PrisonPlanet.tv. Stay with us.
Will I have garlic breath after I take Ali-C?
We get that question all the time about the world's best garlic extract, Ali-C. And the answer is, Ali-C contains stabilized allicin, nature's antimicrobial agent, and the active ingredient in crushed garlic, but will not give you garlic breath. Scientifically proven in double-blind studies, using low doses of allicin greatly reduces the number, severity, and duration of common colds. Our powerful Ali-C contains 300 milligrams of stabilized allicin. Just one tablet of Ali-C is equivalent to 40 garlic cloves. It's effective against asthma, MRSA, bacterial, fungal, and viral infections, and helps lower high blood pressure and high cholesterol. Plus, it's a natural mosquito repellent. Boosts resistance to infection with nature's best garlic extract, Ali-C. For more information and to order Ali-C, call 877-888-7126 or go to garlichealthproducts.com. That's 877-888-7126 or garlichealthproducts.com. Fight back with Ali-C.
Iodine protection packs from hempusa.org are now in stock for immediate delivery worldwide. Our iodine protection packs include microplant powder, green life kelp, red palm oil, and our clear roll-on iodine that will feed the body the iodine it needs. All iodine protection packs are in stock, save you money, and ship for free in all 50 states. Visit hempusa.org or call 908-691-2608 today.
We the people grow cotton, weave fabric, engrave ink, embed strips and fibers to protect from counterfeit and carting to a private bank, having it lent back at interest, forcing taxes to service debt. This capitalism, or was Jefferson correct when stating a central bank issuing the public currency is a greater menace to the liberties of the people than a standing army? Hi, Ted Anderson. I'm placing a silver dollar in a book explains our monetary system. Call for your copy, 800-686-2237. It's time to understand the system. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now, new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365.
We all know that Berkey Water Purification Systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey Water Filtration Systems. The Berkey Light Systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light System today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
By the way, I'm going to get to this, as I mentioned, more in the second hour today. And it is also linked down on the left-hand side of the Drudge Report under the other headlines. Rick Perry fires up crowds, the different Christian conservative groups he's speaking before. And Perry said, stand up and stop apologizing for your conservatism. Well, I agree. Real conservatives, constitutionalists should stand up to Perry and say, hey, why'd you pass all these new tax systems in Texas? Why are you for forced Gardasil inoculations? Why were you for the North American Union funding Trans-Texas NAFTA superhighway leg? Why did you go to Bilderberg in 2007 And as you can see there on the Drudge Report, he's linked to our article. I tell you, Drudge is really causing a stir with this. The fact that he exposes Democrats going to Bilderberg is a big deal. That's when he really started covering it, was when Obama went in 2008. But now that he's covering Perry, it's pretty hardcore. But again, Drudge has this report up there. Bilderberg approved Perry, set to become presidential frontrunner. Paul Joseph Watson's article today. And as I said, we're going to be breaking that down more. Look, I wish Perry was real. I wish that Rick Perry was a Ron Paul type who could really be trusted. And that's what Ron Paul has said. Ron Paul's 75. Believe me, he had to have his arm twisted to run. But regardless of what happens in this election, he'll inject real issues. He will show the alternative of true liberty and constitutional views versus rhinos, Republican in name only. And Rick Perry may wear cowboy hats and talk about secession and claim that he killed a coyote in Westlake Hills, which is the suburb of Austin, while he was jogging. I mean, he may tell us that, he fought and killed Yosemite Sam. And next that he rides with Tonto. But the facts are Rick Perry is not who he says he is. And you could say, well, forget the forced inoculations, forget the UN takeover of the highways by foreign companies. Forget all that. Okay, well, let's just forget it. I don't make a lot of mistakes, and generally when I do, it's because I go with mainstream media. I heard local news talk radio in the news segment last week announce that Perry had added it to the special session. And I searched it and couldn't find it, but thought, well, they must have just gotten the news. Well, I went and looked it up. He's never added it, and now you've got the Washington Times and Lou Rockwell and everybody else, literally over 100 articles, begging him. Headlines, Rick Perry's our only hope on TSA. Please, Rick, add it to special session. The House says they have the votes to pass it. The Senate has the votes, near unanimous in both. If you'll just get behind it, we can stop the TSA sticking their hands down people's pants. And by the way, it's now come out, TSA admitted, in New Orleans, they called the male and female members of the legislature out to single them out. The TSA did, and squeezed, I played the clip yesterday from Fox News Local, squeezed the man's genitals so hard it racked him. That's how God designed us. You're not supposed to damage those so you can have children. So, pressure hurts them. Well, they just said, and he said, you're trying to punish me? And they said, you bet we are. And then they went on to search his bags for 40-plus minutes. I mean, pretty soon they're going to get a meat cleaver out and say, get it on the wooden table. Got to make sure there's not bombs in there. And you think I'm joking. They're talking about full chest x-rays to stop al-Qaeda breast implant bombs, or to x-ray dogs that get on planes because al-Qaeda might try. I mean, the government's got to take all rights away because the terrorist might strike. You can never stop terrorists from striking, even if you believe this whole fable. They're sacrificing our republic in the name of liberty. When you know the private interests that run this country are not free market and are open tyrants in their own admissions. But imagine, he's like, you're hurting me. I played the newscaster, he's like, is this punishment? And they go, yes, it is. Ah. I mean, now they just, you see, they're getting prison guard types who are used to dealing with prisoners, a lot of which are innocent, biggest prison population in the world, mass frame-ups, but a lot of them are guilty. And, of course, it's come out they release the violent offenders to menace the population of the country while keeping the nonviolent. They're better widget makers, making defense contractor parts. They don't just make license plates and furniture. That was in Granddaddy's day. For 40, 50 years, they've been making everything and competing against the rest of our jobs, driving down wages. But good old boys still love it. So they treat you like a perp, like you're a convicted felon. That's what this is. Line up, take the shoes off, take the belt off. Well, I don't want to go in the microwave machine. I'm pregnant. Opt out, you get over here. In fact, I was talking to my parents this weekend. I went over there for dinner with the family, and they were telling me about all their friends being harassed and molested by TSA. And I just said, please stop telling me the stories. It's making me too upset. Well, now you don't like the TSA? Well, they're just going to grab your genitals and squeeze them like they're trying to crush two walnuts together. That's how you crack nuts. You can crack them together.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.